Calling all around the world. Mumbo jumbo, stir up the gumbo. Calling all around the world. Get it. Start with a roux, that's me and you. Add the Holy Trinity. That's rhythm, chords, and melody. Come on now, add your spice. Tell your story, very nice. Calling all around the world. Stir that vocal gumbo now. Calling all stir it up, stir it up. Get it.
Are you playing with dolls? What are you doing?
I've got this little guy that I thought I would dance with. What are you doing?
I'm drinking. That's what I'm doing. This is a happy hour.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll put him back. All right. Hey, Janice, we're back in our kitchens.
I don't remember how to do this.
Well, let's just remind everybody that this is a little vocal gumbo happy hour. That's Janice Siegel over there in that box.
And that's Lauren Kinnan in that box.
In this box. And we are, we're back. We're back and better than ever, I think. That's just a personal reflection on my point.
I'm still sous videing.
And I'm
Bet husband in the house.
Bet, that was a really great hang we had. Always good to see you. Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of that, since this is the happy hour, Janice, yes. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things for those of you that are tuning in, upcoming Vocal Gumbo, Bleebity Blobbity Blues. But most importantly, Alexia's here. Oh, my God, all the way from Cyprus, maybe.
Oh, my God.
Hello.
It's an international happy hour.
Oh, that's so great.
Oh my! This is Australia over here.
Okay, so this is Vocal Gumbo coming to you worldwide. Janice, what is your cocktail of the moment? What are you sipping on?
It's a very simple yet very efficient vodka. Vodka, Kettle One vodka with this incredible lime and yuzu tonic. Fever Tree, it's awesome.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, and I've got duck breast in the sous vide and beautiful purple potatoes in the oven.
That sounds lovely. Well, I have contraband because when I was in Germany this summer, I brought home some Riesling from Trocken from the Rheingau region.
That's very nice. The Rheingau. Yes.
So this will be nice because I brought it home in my suitcase. Am I supposed to say that on the air?
Well, let's hope there's no agents listening.
No, you can. You just can't bring liquid on the plane.
That's right.
Anyway,
I've packed one in my suitcase all the time.
You've packed chanterelles in your suitcase.
Yes.
But anyway, cheers.
Here's looking up your address. All right. Well, it's so good to be back doing this. This is crazy. I mean, because everybody's transitioning and everyone's kind of slipping back to work if you haven't been working, already. And right? And we've got a virtual Vocal Gumbo coming up.
We do. We have a virtual Vocal Gumbo. We have a live in-person Vocal Gumbo. And we've been just kind of trying to figure out how to transition Vocal Gumbo into 2021 and 2022. The last time I was in this part of my house doing a show was last May, because I basically, hit the road in June, and we didn't really, we really haven't done one since, at least that I've been home for. And so it's kind of interesting to be here. It's all my memories are just coming back about how these monthly shows that we were producing and how much we learned in the interim. Lori Green is up there pulling levers, and boy, the first couple, maybe 3 or 4 shows, we were all just like, but having a ball, and it was kind of saving our life.
Oh, totally saved my life. I mean, I know you, we need to create and sing. And so, how do we do that when we're all locked up in our individual little homes? And we found a way to engender community and maybe, and give some money to causes that we were involved with and passionate about, and have interesting conversations with people all over the world. I mean, what a journey! What a journey!
Yeah, it was really amazing, and we have just a huge library, a vault of music and videos that that we can't wait to sort of show the old favorites, but continue to generate new ones. And as we're doing that, I mean, Janice, you have been getting back to work with the Manhattan Transfer. You guys are finishing up a new record. You are finishing up a movie about your 50 years together. You are getting back out on the road. And how does that feel to be sort of getting back on planes and getting back on stages and starting to kind of touch that old feeling again?
Well, honestly, it's a little unnerving. I mean, because there's a lot of times where it feels completely normal.
Right.
And I know this, I know this. And then but it's not the same. We're in a very interesting period of adjustment now, because COVID's not over by any means. And different parts of the world have different rates of infection and different variants. And I'm wondering how it's going to work on a real tour in Europe, say. I mean, are we going to have to factor in COVID tests, and are we getting the right test, and what kind of documentation do we need? And is it going to add hours of stress to our lives, and in addition to performing and traveling? So it's the same, but it's not the same.
Right. I think the viewers, to just expand on sort of what Janice was talking about, the New York Voices have been out a couple of times, and we went to Germany twice already. And it really is quite a thorough process that you have to do to show your vaccination and then have your very well timed out negative COVID results, right?
Yes.
But it doesn't ever occur to you. You're like, oh, great. Well, I know I can go to CVS or I can go down the street and do my COVID test. But where do you go and get it when you're abroad, right?
When you're in a little town somewhere, yeah.
Right. So it's now, granted, it's working abroad too, but still the mechanisms and the stress levels about timing it and getting it right. And so a lot of our colleagues who had like expansive tours in Europe actually canceled them, because the liability of what if one band member gets COVID, you have to isolate for 10 days. And so it's all on you. You have to pay 10 days of hotel. And if that's a big band, then that's the tour's over. So as people start to kind of go, why aren't artists coming out? It's because the liability of going out on the road, there's a risk factor. And
that's right.
You just don't know how it's going to turn out. And so it's almost like better to just go, you know what? We're just going to wait. We're still going to wait.
I mean,
we'll do local stuff.
There's the idea of the meet and greets too. People want to take pictures with you and they don't want to wear a mask. And different clubs and concert venues have different restrictions.
Yeah.
And I've gotten my booster already. Are you going to do that?
I will do it. I haven't done it yet, but I will go do it, because we're frontline workers as educators at NYU. So we have to kind of keep ourselves really healthy. It's that social contract we make with our students and with our communities.
Absolutely. Well, I figure vodka kills everything.
I think so too. I've been drinking a lot of vodka.
I noticed that.
I don't know what's happening. But the other thing I was kind of thinking a good outgrowth could be that, okay, so we're not back out on the road internationally, but it's even more so to go, fine, let me work locally. Where can I go to work locally so that the risk liability isn't going to be a problem, because if you get sick, you go home, right? And so I'm thinking more and more about the beautiful outgrowths of going, okay, we're still not up to speed. I hope communities are going, great. Well, you know what? We haven't booked local Sam or Karen, whatever their names are. Let's bring them in, because there are local people. And
I know that Hawaii Blue Note's doing that.
Yeah.
because we were
Yeah.
booked there, and we postponed it because the governor said, "Don't come." Don't come. We don't want tourists right now. We have to get this under control. But the Blue Note is still booking, and it's practically all local acts.
Yeah. So that could be a good outgrowth. And the other outgrowth for us then is that, how do we keep going? And Janice is back on the road. I'm back on the road a little bit. And so suddenly this little monthly full-time job that we were doing for a year and a half is kind of not really doable because between our two schedules, we just don't have that like abundance of time that we found ourselves. And also other people are getting out on the road. So it's harder for us to kind of tap the people that we want. We have to wait for them, or like it's not convenient. And so people aren't just home hanging out. So the world is changing. We're adapting yet again. And we figure a quarterly virtual vocal gumbo will be the format that we're going to move toward, so that number one, we can still keep up the community of collaboration, but number two, we can keep the quality where we want it, right? We just don't
Yes.
want to just throw a bunch of stuff up because we don't have time to really get it tight. We want it to be really good. And we have got some amazing things coming up in November at our,
Oh my God.
oh my
Yes.
God.
For the next virtual one, which is episode 17,
Yes.
I want to say that's freaking awesome. We have all of these amazing people that we're collaborating with. Mark Kibble. We're collaborating with Martin Bejarano.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We've got LaTanya Hall and her husband Andy Milne. Jay Graydon is joining Lauren and I and Mark Kibble in a collaboration of an original song that Jay wrote with Al Jarreau. Hello. Raul Madan is one of our Vocal Gumbo favorites. He's in the All-Stars. That's all I can say. And then Leanne Carroll. Okay, we want to turn you on to this woman who is unbelievable. Lauren, you found her.
All
Please
the way from the UK. A good friend of Claire Martin, who is also another really great favorite of ours, jazz vocalist in London. And I got hip to Leanne and just fell over with her. She's a great piano player, swings really hard, and she's got this soulful, rich, deep voice that's got so much story in it that you just and wit and whimsy and smarts. It's all the stuff that you want. And she's just full on great entertainer. So Leanne Carroll, you're going to get hip to her. And of course, and then we always have, our young artists. So Georgia Hears, who's a recent graduate from Oberlin, which is also where LaTanya Hall is on faculty. Georgia is a stunning vocalist that, boy, it's been a pleasure to just continue to showcase these amazing artists that are coming out of our institutions. Addison Frye on piano, who's a good friend of ours in this ensemble as well. We've done a ton of stuff with him. So we've got a really nice show planned for you for November 11th. Great. And Gabrielle Espinoza has been on our show. Hi, Gabrielle. And we're actually going to go out and work with his school next year.
Cecily.
Hello. Happy birthday, Cecily. It's so good to see everybody. It feels like, we took such a long hiatus, but it's taken a while to get it all organized. And going back to Mark Kibble, I don't know how you feel, Janice, but I mean, we're of the vocal ensemble groups, but Take Six is, sort of a church in and of itself. And we've both sung with their groups. You tour with them extensively. We know them, but you still sort of like are in awe of their craft, right?
Oh my God, every second.
So so getting a chance to have Mark literally write a vocal arrangement for you and I and Mark to sing together could be another one of those like bucket.
It was a bucket list.
Was it
totally. And this particular tune also is a tune written by Jay Graydon and Al Jarreau. It's the most wonderful upbeat piece, and Mark just killed it.
Mark killed it. Jay came in, swooped in. Addison did, and then we upped our game on the video production. Emma Sundvik put it together for us, and we even have some wonderful animation. So
we have some animation from. Oh, look at that!
Look at that. So maybe if anybody can guess what they think the song is based on the animation, you get to have a s'more party.
Or we could send them a Vocal Gumbo corkscrew.
We could do that too. So yeah, we've got tons of swag. I could send this dancing man.
You could. Have you been painting? Autumn in New York? No, Daniel.
No, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel. No.
But
yes,
keep trying. Keep trying. There
yes!
it is, Cecily.
You got it. Cecily
Okay.
Got it.
All right, Cecily. Something's coming in the mail, and we have no idea what it is yet. But
I'm going to get something to you, Cecily, for that. Seriously. Awesome.
Morning. The song is Morning. And it's a joyful, joyful song, which of course we need buckets of joy these days, don't we?
But can I just say that we reached out to the Manhattan Transfer's bass player, Boris Kozlov, has a wonderful son who is in high school, and we asked him to do some animation for us. And Saba Kozlov did an amazing job in conjunction with Emma to do this video. So
it's so great. So great. And we did another collaboration for the Women Business Collective and wrote a song for their big event that they had. And it gave us the inspiration to write a song, and it was super fun to just dig into what that could and should be and should sound like. And they said the one thing that they said was like, I don't know, kind of like a Afro-Cuban kind of thing. And I was like, done. So we reached out to our good friend, Martin Bejarano, who's down in Miami, teaches at University of Miami and is on the road oftentimes. And just a killer musician. And so he did the track for us, and it's fierce. So we'll be debuting that. Lots of other great things. So plan on November 11th. And then let's talk about this upcoming show that we've got at Birdland Theatre. Hello.
Birdland Theatre live Vocal Gumbo, like the old days. Oh my God, what is happening? Look at that. Theo Bleckman, who has been a special guest for us. He was one of the first people we had.
One of the very first. Yep.
Yeah, at Zinc Bar. Look at that trio we've got going on. Anais Reno, our young artist. You can't believe the thrilling voice that comes out of this young woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's something else. I've known her. She's been on my radar because she was also, she went to LaGuardia High School with my daughter, Ella.
Yes, that's right.
And
yes.
So I've been sort of, watching her blossom and grow as an artist. But I will say, from the moment that I heard her, I was like, oh, we got ourselves a gifted artist. And she's got different, she's got this sort of alto, low alto, maybe, contralto-y
yes,
range.
like a very deep voice. It's
very deep voice, very, very rich. And she really lives in the repertoire very comfortably as a young woman. She handles the text and handles the phrasing in a very, very authentic way. And she's popular at Birdland Theatre. Most people that probably go to Birdland have seen this ingenue over the last couple of years. So, but we're going to enjoy showcasing her. The night before that, she's actually got her CD release party. So, I mean, the kids got on a roll.
She's on a roll. And, I don't know about you, but when I was her age, maybe even a little older, I attempted a couple of songs I was just too young for. I just didn't have it. And she's already there.
Super comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you had the pleasure of working with this next woman that's the invited guest on our happy hour, and you worked with her recently in Washington Square Park. Why don't you tell us how like that little wonderful hang happened?
Well, I was aware of Antoinette Montague because I had done. I sang a song for one of her programs, Music on the Inside, which provides music for inmates in jail. I mean, what could be more healing, really, for people that are incarcerated? But then I was a part of the Village Trip Festival, which was an incredible, like week-long, 10-day festival celebrating the artistic life of Greenwich Village, which is my neighborhood. And
Yes.
there were different kinds of art walks and famous writer walks. And this was a free concert in Washington Square Park, which is the center of our neighborhood, really, and the center of NYU. And has always been the center of bohemian life here in Greenwich Village, with Bobby Sanabria's big band, the Multiverse Orchestra.
Woo!
Which, what a machine. It's like a big feral animal behind you, and you're singing with it.
Feral.
Yeah,
even.
baby. So Antoinette and I were the featured singers for that performance. And so we connected and we invited her for this happy hour, of course, but she's going to be there Friday night for Vocal Gumbo Live, and she's going to blow the roof off. So there.
So
and I don't want to tell you what I had to do to get Theo Blackman to.
Well, why don't you tell us before we have Antoinette on, because we have a fun little picture. Because as I understand it, I mean, I believe you were just on a typical walkabout on the weekend. There might have been some cocktails involved.
Well, I was forced to go into the Monster to have cocktails, but I bumped right into Theo because he was meeting a bunch of people. So he dragged me in there, and that's when I got down on my knees.
You popped the question.
I popped the question.
Will you please sing on our Vocal Gumbo show?
Yes.
At Birdland Theatre on October 29th.
Yes.
At 8:30.
He said yes. He said yes.
Well, we're lucky to have him because he's just back from San Francisco. He was feeling a little bit wonky at the top of the week, but he's back in rehearsals with Meredith Monk, who has been a longtime collaborator and inspiration in his life, working with her, dancer, choreographer, and performance art at the highest level. And so he's in the throes of rehearsals every day till late. So we're really lucky to get him. He's awfully busy for the post-COVID world, but I'm happy for him because as most artists know, you got to put your energy and your angst and your love of what you do somewhere. And it's nice when you get to actually put it into work that you've been missing for a long time. So we're so excited to have Theo join us on Friday at Birdland Theatre. He's going to do a couple really wonderful, typical, just extraordinary pieces out of his songbook. And Janice and I are going to collaborate on one of them with him. So that'll be fun.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And so without any further ado, why don't we
got to get this woman on because we have so much to talk about.
She's got so many stories. So Antoinette Montague, the woman with the beautiful head of blue. You have a blue crown on. That's what you have.
Yeah, I got a little bit bored with the purple and lime green and some of the other things that you don't really see what's on top of your head, but little kids take note.
Oh,
walk through places.
I was going to ask, were you born this way or no?
Oh, is it everywhere? No, it literally because I get bored very fast, and it's just something fun to do. Is a conversation piece. It encourages people to put your frock on and do a little makeup, and you don't have to do it for a public, but just to make yourself feel bright, just to put, we got all these atoms of energy around us. So fill them with fun, love, and fancy. And you never know if you get a last minute gig, and you don't have to get ready if you are ready. I was taught be ready and you don't have to get ready. So I get dressed.
Who told you? Who taught you that?
Carrie Smith. Carrie Smith was my first mentor. She was in Black and Blue on Broadway with Ruth Brown and Linda Hopkins. And she was just the quintessential dresser. I mean, her closet was similar to Dinah Washington's closet. When Etta went to Dinah Washington, when Dinah asked her to sub for her at the Village Vanguard, she said she had like 3 long walls of hat, pocketbook, dress, shoes, in whatever color and the hue. And she just opened up all the doors and told Etta, go pick whatever you want. And she was like, the muff with the coat, she said, it all goes together. Open up the coat. The mink coat was lined with the taffeta, fabric of the dress that she was going to wear, and the shoes, and the
my God, those days. I miss those days.
Yeah.
Not
absolutely.
that I ever had 3, closets full of matching things, but
me either. Carrie had a good 2 closets full, and I was her the person that just saw her all the way through to the end. She was pretty much retired when I met her, and she was still in great voice. And I started feverishly making calls to try to get her booked, but I made sure I wanted to learn to sing the blues. I wasn't really out there yet, but I wanted to learn to sing the blues. If I could just do one blues on every show that I got an opportunity to do. And I just had this very light lyric soprano voice, and Carrie had this heavy contralto voice. And I started learning the voice of the mind and taking some classes with Jim Carson. I think Catherine Russell sent me to Jim Carson. And then you're on the journey.
Right.
Of trying to create the sound that you have in your mind. And it's all very humbling. So.
Did you know Alberta Hunter?
Not personally, but Carrie filled in for Alberta. When Alberta passed, Carrie Smith was the singer that they got to come over to the cookery. So I got a chance to see her at the cookery because a high school teacher of mine took me to see Alberta Hunter at the cookery. And
I loved Alberta Hunter.
You knew her?
No, but I was a fan.
Well, I do an Alberta Rough and Ready Man.
Oh, nice.
Carrie did that. And, when I would travel with her and sell CDs, I'm like, you left out Rough and Ready Man. We sold half the CDs. Do not forget to put it in. And she's like, I'm sick of it. I'm like, were you sick of the money that you'd be sick of it. So just the beauty of so many great singers that we all stand on the shoulders of. Yes. I still have in my mind the great picture of Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday that you have. And we just all stood around and looked at that picture like we were looking at our mom. So thank you for
Backstage. Billie just gotten out of rehab. I think she's looking very prim and proper. And Ella's kind of disheveled, actually.
Hey, well, God bless Ella.
Yeah.
Ella.
But
so I'm looking forward to our Friday gig at the Birdland. That's
going to be fun. We have a great trio. Who you're going to meet, Antoinette. John.
Mm-hmm.
John DiMartino.
Yeah, John DiMartino.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to go back for a second because I feel like you've talked about 2 touchstones in a way, from like the passing on of traditions, and we stand on the shoulders of greats. We do. And then on top of that, we stand on the shoulders of the sisterhood, which we all shore each other up as best we can. But the other anecdote I think is not a small one, is to talk about also, when you talk about the wardrobe that was shown to Etta, that this too is like, it tells the stories of the times and of the honor and the importance of what the gig means, right? To go and show up at the venue, pulled together and honoring the work, and those probably every one of those outfits. I save so many of my things, like especially like cover things that were on the cover of a record, because they're just outfits that, like, I'll never wear them again. I'll never fit in them again. But like, there's stories about like where you were and iconic moments in, in one's life. And with those women, my God, those stories that they could tell about, where they were when they were wearing them.
Absolutely.
Right. And what they were doing when they were wearing them and singing. And it's still part of it. It's not a vanity thing. It's just the weight of the story.
I just heard earlier from one of my students. She said she'd heard from one of the gentlemen who went to the moon, or, astronauts, said there are two important days in your life: the day that you're born and the day that you discover what your purpose, or the day you were born and the day you discover why you were born. And so we three understand the why we were born. And then you do enough of the why, the singing, the putting the energy out. And then you want to take the opportunity of that gift and move it forward with doing good work.
Yes,
doing
ma'am.
things that mean and make a difference in the world, so that we leave the planet a better place than, we hope to leave it a better place than what we discovered it.
Amen.
And
so with that sentiment, could we please talk about your Jazz Woman to the Rescue organization?
Absolutely. I created a wonderful cartoon character of myself on a rainy day going to do a gig for Jazz Foundation in one of the schools. And I had some Prada glasses and a cape why did I have cape? I don't know. I bought this cape. So I got the cape, I put it on, and I said to Bertha Hope, Kim Clark, and Luciana Padmore, who plays drums, I said, just play the blues. Do not be afraid. And so I started Jazz Woman to the Rescue, which Jim Dandy to the Rescue, of course.
Yeah, right.
And then I said, the first place Jazz Woman's going to stop and visit is the great mother of scat, Ella Fitzgerald, a tisket, a tasket. And then we moved on to Louis Armstrong. Now we're going to visit the godfather and father of scat singing, and Louis Armstrong. I see trees in the same pulse, and they were looking at each other, going like, well, it still is fitting. And then we visited the godmother of rock and roll, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Who
yes.
We must always remember our mothers and our fathers, as Joe Williams would say, our mothers and our fathers in this jazz game and this blues game. And blues is the foundation of all, of this modern music that we experience. And that we forget that mankind's out of Africa. It is one of my favorite things to remind myself of when I see some of the ugly stuff that's happening. I said, because they just don't know any better. And we're not teaching the next generation. So link hands with me as often as possible that mankind's out of Africa. We're all 99.9 the same genomes. That means we are related. We three ladies are family. We are related. So encourage the world that on the count of three to say, welcome to the family reunion. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the family reunion.
Absolutely. As people get their DNAs done and they see 0.1 pygmy or wherever in Africa they may be from, we are connected, and we must use the connection that we have to do better, to be better, to spread kindness. And there's nothing more beautiful and kind than to hear beautiful singing from human beings. There's something about a singer. There's something that we just love about a singer, and because we understand the story that we tell. So we're all griots, storytellers, and artisans, and it's just a privilege to connect with you both, and a dream come true, because I really, just love the energy of you, the song of you, the kindness of you. And so thank you for inviting me. So my Jazz Woman to the Rescue is about, I just noticed that there were too many children not taking musical lessons, especially in challenged areas of this
Yes.
country. And many people have used instruments in pretty decent shape in their closets that they took a couple of lessons on, got bored, tucked them away. And so I just put out a consciousness of, let's donate used instruments that you have to children in your community. You can send them and get in touch with me at Jazzwoman to the Rescue. I get calls, I get emails from people. I just got a call for a vibraphone, so I contacted Jay Hogarth up in Connecticut to see if one of the students might need it. And
Yeah.
so we're working on it. And so I enjoy the fact that as a consciousness, I had one very person said, it's too big a project. It's too big you're not going to do anything with that. It's not going to go anywhere. And I said, you have no idea when you speak positive things into this universe that a consciousness happens. If you put it out as an idea, somebody says, I got some old instruments.
Yes.
Hey, we can start the same thing. And I noticed a lot more, I'm sure that they were doing it, but I noticed a lot more organizations giving instruments to young people. But I say just not young people. There are a lot of people out of work right now. Music sort of really heals and soothes, and children first. But if it's there and there's an adult who says, I've always wanted to play this saxophone. All right, you get it under one condition. The minute that you lose interest, it comes right back here, or you must pass it on. Don't let it suffer the same fate twice or three times.
You've inspired me to go into my son's room and take a look at the instruments he's left, because there is a saxophone in there.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it to you.
All righty.
All right.
And we will find the right person. Anyone who is listening to the sound of our voice, get in touch with me and make a difference of music, because music is important. Music is important.
Yes.
It is a wise thing for the brain, for memory, for healing anxiety. It's a way to connect you with others. I just had a fun gig at a nursing home today on 106th. And it was, of course, Danny Mixon, Melissa Slocum, Bobby Sanabria, and those folks inside of that place lit up. It was like
beautiful.
being children all over again. And I'm a silly rabbit because I put the cape on and I run around, Jazz, one to the rescue. I pray every time, don't fall. And, it's important for us to also put music back in our schools. This pandemic came along and sort of put a speed bump. But more and more, I'm here in the great city in Newark, New Jersey. I'm born and raised here, but I spent 29 years in Connecticut. And to go into some of the fields in the schools in Westport to see the amazing instruments and the amazing programs they have, and then come home and other places and see less than, don't get angry, do something about it. And more, I mean, every year, Ross Baraka, the mayor of Newark, is doing incredible things to make sure that the arts are upheld. And
aren't you on the board of WBGO as well?
No, not on the board. I'm on the community advisory board.
Okay.
So we invite everyone to come to those quarterly meetings to talk about. The word community is written very largely on the windows of BGO.
That's true.
And I'm always a pain in the neck saying, but what about the artists that hail from the home of Sarah Vaughan and many other Newark artists? Don't forget the living. We worship the dead in this art form. But what I love that you both are doing is you are reaching out and grabbing hands of the living. I see the multicultural skew that you are doing, and not just staying inside of a clique, that you're branching out. And that is what makes the world a beautiful place. That's what is meaningful. So bless you both for, not just having me, but for all the people you have had and will have. And that will make a consciousness for people to do something about how to keep this art form lifted and front burner, because jazz got elevated during this time, whether you know it or not. I saw more jazz on these types of platforms than before, because we're too busy running up and down the street. Then we
Well,
had to sit.
well, jazz is scrappy. Jazz is from the idea of invention, somewhere in the part of creativity, the need to create, and the fact that if you're served a circumstance that isn't ideal, that you find a way to rise above it, find a way to also use it to help you tell stories, to help you actually tell truth. And there was so much truth to tell during the pandemic, from every walk that we went through, through all of us being just suddenly home and and not able to go anywhere when it was really shut down. The world had to really, really look at itself. And while we still have a tremendous amount of work to do, we did crack the surface, and we're dealing with things that maybe we would never have dealt with. And that too then pours into the art and the music making, and we're never the same. And hopefully we continue to just push,
improve,
and crack open, and improve, and evolve.
Well, this is the happy hour, so I think we need to take a little sip of something and toast the wonderful happy hour.
Evan Sanders, here's to you, my friend.
Hey, Evan. Elizabeth.
Ooh.
To everyone.
Elizabeth.
Now,
oh my God. Everybody.
If you would both check out the last song of the Kalahari Bushmen and listen to the music that they're playing on one of their tours coming back. They're the oldest of all living people, the oldest of tribes, right?
They're Aborigines?
No, they're not Aborigines. They're African.
Okay.
Yeah, Kalahari Bushmen. And there's a point where it caught my ear, the 3/4, boom, da, da, boom, da, da, boom.
Yeah.
And so it always, Europe didn't just go and steal diamonds and gold. They stole culture, and so we want for our classical, educational areas to start embracing and opening up, and not just looking at, just one spectrum of folks, but let's look at truth, and embrace this family concept.
So, like, where'd you get that idea? Where'd you get that idea of the boom chick chick boo chin chi that you're talking about? What, right? So I mean,
absolutely.
It's really giving ownership to a source of inspiration or some information that was happening in another faraway place, and being mindful of giving credit where credit's due, and telling and then leaping from there, but making sure that it's that everybody's included in that tapestry.
Right. And the blues, as we come from West Africa to the blues, etc., that's the music that Black people use to work through oppression. And blues is the music that we invented to create inspiration and possibility. And that I think we get very, very bored when we invent stuff and toss it away, and somebody's like, this is a perfectly good sandwich, I'm going to finish it up for you. So, don't just invent and toss it away. We should all invent and figure out how to cherish as best we can. Another program, that has been meaningful is the Music on the Inside program. Modi and Elena Bloomgarden invented a program that goes into prisons and teaches music. And just before the pandemic started, I said, I'm not going back in next week. I am, She's like, oh no. I'm like, so thank God the government kind of shut us from coming in. They shut everything down. I said, why don't we? I was teaching Marymount College a jazz and blues course that Eli Yeaman had gotten them to have in the course and passed it on to me. And we were on Zoom, and the students were bored to death and miserable and sad because their mothers made them come home and they couldn't toast out on their terraces and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay. You guys got 3 minutes, 5 minutes to invent something, to create something, a song, a claymation, draw a picture, anything. And I called it flash creativity. When I came back, the amazing things that they came up with, the wash your hand blues, you gotta wash your hands. And I posted it up on Facebook. And then it dawned on me, this is maybe a way during the shutdown that, so I called International Women in Jazz, Jazz Foundation. I called everybody I could to say, like, check this out. And if not this, if you're checking out something else, get back to me and tell me what you're finding or what works or doesn't work.
Right.
And for 18 months, every week, we were on at 6 o'clock with 8 or 9 artists. We were over the moon, the way that you were about this gentleman singing on Friday, when we got the get of gets, which was having Janice Siegel come and, you know, give us a song, but to spend the time, the hour with us to see what was happening inside of the energy of the room. People in their individual homes, watching, you know, participating, getting a chance to see artists they might never have seen because, God forbid, they get out and go to a club.
Right.
So Music on the Inside helps to encourage incarcerated and formerly incarcerated persons to embrace music, to help save their lives. Music will save your life.
It's hopeful. I mean, the
It's
blues is hopeful too, because you know you're not alone.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly. What do you think the possibilities are of this technology coming into clubs and giving people an opportunity to connect with artists from around the world? It's happening more and more, you know. Oppression leads to invention. Boy, did we invent this year.
I think it's a great question. It's the greatest, biggest stumbling block that we found and that we find in our industry, because archaic models that were built on the notion of selling music and licensing music and mechanical royalties and blanket licenses at live venues and records being, you know, doing all of your licensing properly. The notion of live streaming is still this funny thing that is a little trepidatious, because you have to pay the composers. And so while all that's really good, because I'm a composer, you know, so I appreciate all that. But like, one of the things that we do is we sort of cut our hands off to spite our bodies, because we just are not able to invite people into a room to hear music, because there's all of this protocol, right, that needs to be done in order for you to do it legally, to whether you want to do it for free or charge for a ticket.
That's right.
And so it's a very tricky thing, but it's an archaic model at this point. And yes, I think there are smart people that are figuring it out, but and maybe it'll get sorted, but that's the thing. When you say, doesn't it make sense that we would just put some cameras up at Birdland, have nobody in the audience, have the band come in? There's no worry for when, especially when we're in the pandemic, the band comes in, they play, everybody's tested. There's nobody in the audience, but we're streaming live and everybody's tasting and sipping from the glass of music. But there's all of this other business stuff that really makes it impossible to that very simple notion of, like, the notion of keeping our communities together and feeling connected and feeling touched and inspired. We're all muddled up with stuff, with burdens of protocols.
This pandemic has been amazing. I lost 2 brothers within 4 months due to COVID.
Sorry.
A mentor of mine, Inez McClendon, who taught the likes of Melba Moore and Lauryn Hill and many other great folks. So I respect that there are protocols. I'm sorry that I am vaccine neutral, but I did get the vaccine, and I am going to get whatever else it is that they come up with. I have a pre-existing of lupus, and so I am desiring to hang out the best I can and not debate life for me. Now, I can't tell anybody else what they need to do for them. I understand the fear. I understand the not trusting of, people to, give us something that's a bill of goods. But right now, I would like for anybody to come up with something anyway, it doesn't matter. So here we are, having to live inside of a world. Some of the things I really like that people have to cover their mouth when they sneeze. Didn't somebody teach you to wash your hands? And
That's right.
like,
Just
like
not
some of the
just
stuff is like, really? So you got to come up with a list of things. And in a way, I got more rest. I needed to rest.
There we go. You know, I didn't get sick the entire year
Nope.
because I wasn't on airplanes and I wasn't
Okay.
around other people.
Right. Absolutely.
so we don't want to live in a bubble, but we do. There are social contracts that we sort of do because we want to make the world safe for everybody. Even if you might not be an at-risk person, you do it for somebody else. And those are very simple notions that we learn. It's just that they got really, really turned inside out and upside down. And now we're stuck with a whole pile of lack of trust and all those things. But it really didn't have to be that way if we had really great advice and great leaders at the time. But
may I give one other plug?
Yes, please.
Eli Yeaman has something called Jazz Power Initiative, and I teach on Saturdays for him from 12 to 6. Little kids coming in, learning how to dance, and we'll be teaching for Jazz Mobile. So I never thought that I would, with my own limitations vocally, where you're trying to grow, have the privilege to give information, to teach, because it's really, I'm learning at the same time, teaching and learning and partnering and encouraging, just all ages. And then Monday, I will be hosting International Women in Jazz. They have their jam session. We'll be featuring Bertha Hope. These are small little things.
Can we talk about Bertha Hope just for a second?
Please, absolutely.
She's the widow of Elmo?
She's the widow of Elmo, and also there's Walter Booker. She's two famous guys. I keep telling her, when is my next famous daddy coming along? So Bertha is right now on the cover of
That's unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, I was such an Elmo Hope fan. I went out with his brother, actually.
Are you kidding me?
I am not.
Did you see me rock back? What?
I saw that. I saw that.
We gotta give you a kazoo for that. The kazoo, another African American invention that also gave
and the Jew's harp was African.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also they gave America's VC the copyright for what? What else does this look like? Boing.
A submarine.
Bam. Not only can Janice sing her behind off, and not only can Lauren sing her behind off, but you are brilliant women. And we need to encourage and tell people when they are just spot on smart, acknowledge that. The world is talking about all the dumb stuff. Let's acknowledge everybody. If you're in your home, let's just acknowledge some bright, smart women, because we help to make the world. So you went with Elmo's brother.
She wants the stories now. Come on.
No, that's another sip.
Pour another glass of vodka.
His name was Charles. And he played me some of his brother, and he said, and he didn't tell me who it was. He said, what does this sound like to you? What does it make you feel? What do you think? Who is this? And I said, well, it's like a combination. It's like Bud Powell and Monk had a baby.
And right, you got it. And the grandmother was what's our girl that played piano and taught Bud Powell?
I don't know.
Starts with an M. She's got a great festival name for her in Washington. I was one of the last people to sing with her too. It's gonna happen. Mary Lou Williams.
Mary Lou Williams.
Bling, 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 bling. Yeah. I was the last singer to sing with Mary Lou Williams before she died 3 months later on campus at Seton Hall University. Wow. Our choir was to do the sacred music, and the choir nutted on her, and me and 2 other folks did that. So you
what? Wait. The choir did what?
They
what?
And they nutted. They lost their mind. They did
what?
not.
I like that expression a lot.
Okay, they did not do that. Is that legal for me to say?
Shame. Oh my God, what a talk about missing your blessings, right?
Oh, but not me and two other kids. She worked with us for 3 hours, and then we did the event, and you know, it rattled her cage. It was a gospel choir, and we kept singing the same repetitive stuff. She said, well, let me hear since you didn't practice what I did that I sent you all year, let me hear what you do, and let's see if we can marry the two. And after we got finished showing her what we did, she said, that wasn't and we're like, oh my God, she embarrassed our choir director. I'm like, he embarrassed himself, you know.
Yeah,
so
right.
But it was just whenever I see her face, there's something that hits my heart when I see the face of Etta Jones or all of our folks. And when I see the faces of Janice Siegel and Lauren, I mean, you have touched my heart and my soul. And the soul is forever. The body, the soul exhausts its use for the body, right? So one day we'll exhaust our use. So may our souls be connected.
Antoinette, where do our souls go after the body dies?
Trying to find a good club to hang out in. Asking these crazy questions. You can't ask somebody who's a silly rabbit a crazy question. Where do they go? Blue Note for free.
That's right. That's right. With unlimited dirty martinis. What are you asking?
I've seen the ghost of Duke Ellington floating around. And Charlie Parker. Yep.
My ghost is going to peek in Winton's room. That's what I'm going to do.
Well,
I know it's terrible.
How much touring and traveling did you do in the course of your life? Because you probably have been at every major jazz festival, and you have sat and heard the stories from the mouths of the geniuses themselves. And so you're so gracious in like passing it on, like you're mentoring the next generation. And then the children, you're very involved in just even lighting that fire for them. So, you know, do you have your stories written down? Have you thought about, like, you know, having your own little anecdotal book of some kind that just keeps the stories alive and not, you know, told?
Well, the truth is I've done some touring, not nearly as much as I might have liked to. When I've mentored folks like Camille Thurman, Solomon Hicks, a little Jasmine Horn, etc., and watched them go way beyond where I've, you know, just in an amount of time.
Little Jasmine Horn.
Woo!
Oh yeah, hey, listen, all of them, you know, at the beginning, we're trying to figure out the business of it. So I did 25 years of human resources. So trying to help. I don't even like the word coach or any of those words, but just be with someone and talk to them and see if I could just leave them what I found helpful to maybe cut some of the search out. And if they listened, great. If they didn't, I see that they have listened and taken those lessons and gone far and wonderfully, amazingly well. And we're different. You know, my generation, I look at all my mentors and I still honor them. You know, our young tend to eat like cats. They eat with their eyes closed sometimes. But I still believe in the quiet of the night. You know, I've had a couple of them go, can I talk to you? I want to apologize because I never called you back and I didn't do the... Okay, listen. Know that I'm here. You can call. And by the same token, understand that life is well lived if you live it among others of multiple generations. If you decide you only want to learn from you and your peers, you know, your circle of information is going to get smaller and more narrow. So broaden, don't discriminate, and, you know, love yourself and love others. If you can do that, you know, it'll be easier on you, because they make it too hard to sing a daggone song. It just shouldn't be that difficult, right?
Right. So people out there in virtual land, if you want to hear more wisdom and notes, beautiful notes from Antoinette, please come to Birdland Theatre, 315 West 44th Street. Down them stairs, lose your cares.
Down them stairs, lose your cares. Right on time, right on time.
That's right. Please come to Birdland Theatre this Friday night. We have one show only, 8:30. We have some wonderful artists, and of course, we're featuring Antoinette, along with Theo Bleckman and Anais Reno, and this wonderful trio of John DiMartino, Ross Pedersen, and Yoshi Waki on bass. And Lauren and I are going to get into some shenanigans as well.
Baby. Yes, we're going to do a little blues.
Yes, we are. We are. We're going to do some singing with you, Antoinette.
I'm looking forward to that. We're going to honor Etta a little bit. Etta Jones.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We are going to have.
I mean, I had no idea she was your mentor.
Yeah, she was my mom. We shook hands and agreed, and I think maybe we're winding up at this point.
Well, I want to say one thing as well. I want to do a plug for Janice, because Janice is doing.
Oh my God! Absolutely.
She's got her show on Saturday night. Another one time only with her trio. I think at 8:30 as well, and she's going to be doing things from her Mazel record, from her country whiskey record, and any other thing she wants to sort of regale us with. Because again, it's funny how when you come out the other side of this trauma that we've all been through as a culture, and you kind of figure out, what songs do I even want to sing? Like to find the connections about the songs. You're not the same, and the songs aren't the same, and the band isn't the same, and the clubs aren't the same, and the people aren't the same. So it's going to be really exciting, because she's going to go back up onto the bandstand and present herself. And it's gonna be really exciting. So I'm excited.
I'm planning. Are you going to be there Saturday?
I will totally be there.
I will see you on Saturday as well. Come on out and hang with us, not just Friday night, but for Saturday as well at Birdland. Come on over with the caravan.
That's right. Come on downstairs, hang out with us. We've got beautiful music planned for you, and we're so grateful that Antoinette joined us tonight to tell us these stories. And so now you know that the stories that she's told us tonight are the stories that are coming through her voice and her body and the air and everything about her. She's going to tell us those stories again. So I would suggest grabbing a seat and getting a good seat for this show.
And come to party, because we're coming to celebrate that we are alive. So come on out and let the good times roll, baby.
That's right. So my girl Janice must have, I don't know exactly what happened with her circumstance, but it's good timing, because Vocal Gumbo Happy Hour is ready to get our
All right.
She's coming. Her computer died. She'll come in here and see y'all off.
Thank you, Ms. Green.
Wait, stay right here, Lori. Wait. This is Lori Green,
Hello.
everybody. This is the woman that pulls the levers and is the third leg in this tri-legged Vocal Gumbo venture. And so it's a good time to also say thank you to Lori Green for all of the work that you've done to make this show possible throughout this whole year. And as we morph into the next Vocal Gumbo 2.0, we're grateful you're here with us. And now look at Janice is back.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Janice is back. I hope everyone posts and reposts the events for Friday and Saturday, because we just want to give so much love to you, but you got to be there to get some of the love that we're going to give you live.
And we're going to give 10% of our proceeds to your Jazz Woman on the Rescue Foundation.
Wow.
So
that's huge.
Listen, people, let's
that's at least like 1.5 million.
Exactly.
At least we're gonna make $1 million.
$1 million. Well, this was worth billions in spirit. This was right.
And remember to contact Antoinette. And if you need to have her information, reach out to Virtual Vocal Gumbo at gmail.com, and we will put you in touch with her if you happen to have an instrument you'd like to play it forward, as she says, which I love.
I love that.
Please contact us and help the good work continue to happen.
Hey, Antoinette, if I bring that saxophone to Birdland,
you give it right to me.
Friday,
it's done. You got it.
Is that cool? We'll just put it in your trunk or whatever.
That'd be absolutely terrific. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. I can't thank you all enough. It's been such a place and honor, and love you madly, as Duke says. Be beyond category and enjoy your life, because you did a long time.
Thank you, Antoinette.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Janice. And we'll see everybody Friday at Birdland Theatre and Saturday.
At Birdland Theatre. I'm coming back Saturday to hang out.
Yeah, it's kind of a double header weekend here for Vocal Gumbo. I have a solo show on Saturday.
Yeah, they went down that path while you were gone.
You did?
We plugged it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We plugged it.
Oh, yeah.
I so appreciate that.
Yeah. We need to make sure that we take care of the live events that are happening.
Yes.
You know, take care of them and do them well by showing up and showing out, because we're going to show out Friday and especially Saturday.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da.
Thank you, everybody who tuned in tonight. All those wonderful fans that have been following us. We appreciate you. And Cecily, happy birthday. And I can't wait to we'll get something in the mail to you. You're so adorable. All
Can
right.
people come with Halloween costumes on Friday and Saturday? Because it's the
Of course
holiday.
they can. Are you kidding me? We're going to do a special Halloween song on Friday.
Oh, baby.
See you later, everybody. Vocal Gumbo.
All right.
Peace out.
Vocal Gumbo.
Calling all around the world. Mumbo jumbo, stir up the gumbo. Calling all around the world. Get it. Start with a roux, that's me and you. Add the Holy Trinity. That's rhythm, chords, and melody. Come on now, add your spice. Tell your story, very nice. Calling all around the world. Stir that vocal gumbo now. Stir it up.